Hi, this is Jerry Ramyusak coming with you at Curare Physician Recruiting. I'm the CEO here, and we've got, who's my partner today?
Dave Whitty, I'm the Managing Placement Specialist.
And we're here to talk to you about some recent hot jobs that we've put into our system that have come across our desks from some of our better clients. Today I'm going to be talking about what I am really enthusiastic about is hidden gems of like ski communities and Western outdoor activity type communities. And today we're talking about the hidden gem in the Northwest, Pocatello, Idaho. We've got a client up there that recently gave us specialties pretty much across the board. Primary care, rheumatology, neurology, they need a neurosurgeon, OBGYN, growing community. It's grown about 20% in the last 15 years, and it's an outdoor person's paradise. It's about 2 hours from Teton Pass. Teton Pass is home to, I think, about 2,000 acres of backcountry bliss, deep powder skiing at its finest. You're only about, I think about 2 hours and 15 minutes away from Grand Targhee Resort, which is in western Wyoming, on the western flanks of Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So you get there in about 2 hours, 15 minutes. They have lift access runs and snowcat access runs. And of course on there is the world famous, on the other side of that's the world famous Jackson Hole ski resort, which is probably one of the best there is. But what's really fabulous about Pocatello is the fly fishing and fishing opportunities that are available in the Silver Creek, Idaho River and the Henry Forks of the Snake River. Both are considered blue ribbon fly fishing destinations. I did some internet research yesterday, and I actually think I wasted about an hour and a half looking at these trouts that were probably some of the most beautiful fish I've ever seen. So combining the fly fishing, the surrounding mountains, the skiing opportunities, this is a true outdoor person's paradise. And if hunting or is your thing as well, there's thousands of acres to hunt elk and all sorts of wildlife up there. It's the 5th largest city in Idaho. Idaho is a state of pretty small metropolitan areas, but it's home to Idaho State University. So you get a rather diverse population, a lot of educated people working in the community, a lot of professionals. The main employers in the town are, of course, Idaho State University, the hospital, the city itself. There's a semiconductor, and then Allstate Insurance has an office. So there's a pretty high level of professionals working in the community. It leads to a really good payer mix. And I truly feel as though this could be a place that could be the next Boulder, Colorado. It's a hidden gem. Not too many folks know about it. The summers are a bit shorter than you see in Colorado. The winter's a bit longer and a bit more severe. But if you look at the demographics from Boulder 30, 40 years ago, it kind of matches up to what Pocatello is right now. And right now, if you were to buy a house in Pocatello, you're looking at about $91 per square foot. In Boulder, you're looking at about $320 per square foot. So you could see that if you got into the Pocatello market now, and it does become the next Boulder, it might take a while, but you're going to get a serious return on your housing investment. Some examples that I found, 6,100 square foot in Pocatello for $562,000. 6,000 square foot in Boulder, $2.3 million. It was hard to find houses in Boulder that were physician worthy under $1 million. So that's the Pocatello opportunity. I think this is a great place to look into. If you're thinking about coming out west, give Jeff Crusetto a call. Jeff Crusetto is one of our recruiters that really specializes in outdoor physician placements and outdoor friendly areas. He lives up near Grand Rapids, Michigan, has a house in Montana as well, so he travels between them quite often, and he'll definitely be able to hook you up. Look him up on our Facebook page or at our PhysicianRecruiting.com page on our staff list, and you can find all his contact information and see some of his other job listings. In the meantime, a couple other ski towns that you might want to consider that we also have opportunities in is Delta, Colorado. That one, I wouldn't call it so much a hidden gem, it's just more so hidden than anything. It's very rural, but it's only 2 hours away from Telluride, and in between Delta and Telluride is a backcountry paradise of plenty of mountains to hike and ski in. Another one on the other part of the country, the East Coast, where personally I don't think the snow is quite as good, is Rutland, Vermont. Rutland's only 20 minutes outside of Killington, Vermont, and a lot of people swear that Killington's the best place to ski in the world. I've yet to been proven that, but I'm going to give it a try this winter, I think, with a couple of my Cape Cod buddies. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Whitty.
I'd like to talk about an opportunity that is ideal for the, let's call more the experienced general surgeon, somebody who has done the rat race, wants to slow down a little bit, still make good money though, and live in a really cool place. I'm working with the nation's largest provider of hair transplant surgery. And they just told me about 3 opportunities that they need to get somebody in right away. These are in Beverly Hills, California, Seattle, Washington, and Boston, Massachusetts. 3 awesome cities, great place to go, great everything you could ask for. These are outpatient surgery jobs, all cash businesses. If you go to this opportunity, you will never deal with an insurance company. You'll never deal with Medicare. You will never take hospital call again. You go, you do your job, you go home, and you've got this great city to explore. The money is on par with a starting general surgery. You're looking at first year is a little on the lower side, probably more like the $250. But shortly thereafter, you know, most of their physicians are coming in between $300,000 and $400,000 a year, depending on how fast they can do the procedures. These are independent contractor positions, so you've got a little more flexibility. It's fun, you know, young people with money. It's a fun opportunity, and they're great places to live. They require 7 years post-residency experience. They require board certification. So we're really looking at for surgeons, that have been there, have done that, and kind of slow down a little bit, quite honestly, but still they make a good living. They're growing. They give me new growth opportunities constantly. So this is a company. They're not replacing people. They're growing, and I think that's important. Because everybody wants to be involved with a company that has long-term growth prospects. So if you're interested in this, send me an email, give me a call, 800-909-4883, or look me up on our PhysicianRecruiting.com site.
And a side note that Dave brought up actually right before we came to this meeting that I thought was kind of interesting. We do a lot of work throughout the country on every specialty there is across the board. Dave and I, between us, have 45 years of physician recruiting experience. And one thing that we've seen the major evolution of is the hospitalist movement. When we started, there was really very little hospitalist jobs available, and physicians would really clamor for those outpatient-only primary care jobs with hospitalist support. Now, every hospital in the nation probably has hospitalists, and the schedules are what vary considerably across the board. The predominant one seems to be the 7-on, 7-off. And Dave and I both, and the people that work for us and with us, they've been hearing a lot of grumblings about people getting burnt out on that schedule. And it's understandably so. If you're in that boat, give us a call. We've got jobs across the nation that are daytime schedules, 8 to 5. We have flexible schedules. We've got scheduling where it's 5-on, 5-off, 10-on, 5-on. People are starting to get really unique with their scheduling because they're realizing that it is a sellable point within a job opportunity. So they're getting more creative with their scheduling to reduce the burnout on hospitalist physicians. So give us a buzz. There's a lot of opportunities available.
And if you've never been a hospitalist and you're thinking about going into it, most people get sold on you work 7 days straight, 12 hours, usually 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. What ends up happening is that 12-hour shift becomes 13, 14 hours. And you work 14 hours straight for 7 days straight. It's very tiring. Not to mention, if you've got a family, you leave early in the morning, you don't see the kids, you get home late at night, you go a week at a time, you don't see your family. And that ends up being really tough on physicians that have younger families. Whereas the daytime shifts, while they may not seem as appealing because you don't get that week off, you're typically home for dinner. You get to see your family. So it's something to think about.
Well, I think that's going to do us for today with Coffee at Curare. And we'll see you next week. Wednesdays are our normal day, 9:30 a.m. We hope to see you then. Have a great week.